So, this is a little interesting video, very serious topic, but I feel like it needs to be discussed very frankly, because I've begun to notice that a lot of young ladies like to defer responsibility. You know, this is kind of a thing that I've made note of for quite some time on my channel, last couple of years, saying that responsibility is but kryptonite to a woman, but it gets to a point where it gets a little unreasonable and it gets a lot dangerous, and I mean like a lot dangerous, right? And so in today's video, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a trigger warning. I'm going to be kind of a dick, but I'm going to be a dick with a heart of gold, okay? I'm going to be a magnificent bastard because I'm going to say some things that need to be said. So today we're going to be talking about, and this is strange for my channel, I know, stalking. Okay, so SweetAnita made this video, and for those of y'all who don't know, SweetAnita is a Twitch streamer that has Tourette's. I made a video response to her some time ago where she was telling stories about some simps, but they weren't actually simps, they were actually dudes she dated. Well, not one of them. One of them actually was like this strange, peculiar individual she decided to move in with, but I digress, I have videos for that. My point in bringing up this preamble is to say I'm not doing this because I dislike SweetAnita. I'm not saying it's because I think ill of her. I really don't, but she's still a woman, which isn't a bite against her, but more an explanation as to probably how she got into this mindset and why this mindset needs to be curtailed. Like, this mindset needs to be destroyed. Okay, you'll see what I mean in a second. So, SweetAnita has a stalker, apparently. And apparently, if I understand correctly, this has somehow made it on the internet. And lots of people have talked about this, like a lot. Like a lot, and it's a little eerie to me. Here's a little bit of a montage that she included in her own video.
SweetAnita is in trouble with a situation that you would expect to find in a horror movie.
It's a dangerous situation, and it pisses me off royally.
Has actually slept outside of her house, has followed her around with a knife, has chased her. Why? Why?
It's just really disturbing to know that people out there are like this.
And the UK police aren't doing anything about it.
This is disgusting treatment by the police, in my opinion. Clearly this chick is still being targeted.
He's literally threatening her in her own Twitch chat now.
So yeah, just like going through these tweets, just terrifying.
It's getting so bad last night where she tweeted out and said, hey, if something bad happens to me, please, you know, I mean, this is insane.
Unreal, and something needs to change, like, yesterday.
So, when the montage like that, apparently she's been talking about this to some degree. And, just to me, something's strange about this. Not strange as so much like I think she's being dishonest. It's not that. It's kind of strange in the fact that there's so much attention on the stalker, and yet his identity has not come to light. Where's 4chan on this guy? I've seen 4chan triangulate lots of shooters over and over and over again. I think they're better at finding people off the internet than the CIA. Where are those guys? Who is this stalker? Why is SweetAnita having such a tough time getting support and dealing with him, considering the internet is filled with a bunch of simps ready to lay down their weaponry to defend her? At least I assume so. I mean, she's an attractive white woman, so I'm pretty sure there's some guys willing. But, to be serious, how's this nigga allowed to prosper? Like, I don't understand how SweetAnita can put so much attention and focus, so much so that so many multiple people are saying that she's being stalked. And, like, this guy is still stalking her and he's totally fine. Like, he's just walking to her house and whatnot. And okay, I'll give you guys some more clips and a little bit of a little montage so you understand what this guy is doing to her.
My stalker started following me around and sleeping in my back garden. He started staring through my letterbox. Like, I would come down the stairs in the morning, get on with my day, and then just be like, wait a minute, and look back at the door, and like this letterbox would slowly close as his eyes disappeared behind the door. And so he started knocking on my door as well a lot for hours on end, just not giving up, just constantly. I almost worried that his knuckles would bleed. It was so relentless. He'd sleep behind my house and watch it waiting for me to come out, and he'd follow me to shops. He'd constantly, persistently message me and go and say awful things in my chat. He threatened to kill me, and the police response has been incredibly underwhelming. After he assaulted me, I had a witness, I had a lot of evidence, and the police did nothing. They eventually felt pressured to do something after everyone was kind enough to start atting the police on Twitter and kind of getting upset with the UK police for not acting. There was definitely a lot more done during that time, but it still eventually amounted to nothing changing for me.
So, yeah, I'm greatly confused. But my confusion isn't really what today's video is about. Today's video is actually going to be more about... Well, Anita's video is actually titled, "I'm being stalked, please help me," or something of that regard. And I was befuddled, because I just didn't know what the bloody hell she wanted me to do. I'm just some nigga on the internet. I'm just some guy. I am sure she wasn't asking me to help her, but I really am trying to figure out who the bloody hell she was asking to help her, because I'm just like, you posted a video on the internet about you being stalked. I don't know what you want anyone to do with that information. I don't know what anyone could possibly do with that information. Not only am I just some nigga on the internet, but I'm only, there's a whole ocean that separates us. Like I can't, well, you want me to fly out and go find the stalker and like give him a stern talking to? Like, I don't know what you want, dude, because there really ain't nothing people on the internet can do to help you. I know that kind of spits in the face to what I was saying like just a minute ago, but like, my, you know, I get it. Like, I do get it. What I don't get is how, like, this stalker's identity hasn't been revealed. That's what I don't get. What I do get is that, like, people on the internet can't really do anything about other people's stalkers. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much we can do with this information. But what kind of bothers me the most is her grand conclusions or stuff of this regard.
You will get adequate support and help if you're being stalked. That's insane! You don't have to be in the public eye to be in danger. This is something we need to change, not just for content creators, but for all of us. Because we might end up knowing someone who loses their life because of this. And it doesn't have to be this way. And you can get involved and you can help us to make this a safer place to create content and encourage the police to take this seriously. I want to blow this up. I want to blow it out the water. I want to show people that this is real and it is worth prosecuting. Less than 1% of these cases see a conviction. It's tragic and we can do so much more. So if you want to get involved, please do. On social media, use the hashtag StopStalking. And if you want to talk about stalking that you've experienced, if you want to talk about the platforms that this is happening on, if you just want to implore Twitch or YouTube to communicate more with the police, which would make all the difference. If you want to see action from your local police force or from your country's police force as a default policy, do it! Whatever it is that you want to say about stalking, say it now and say it with me, because I feel like right now it's not a great business decision to invest in security, especially for online platforms and social media, but with public pressure it might be achievable, because there are very real solutions that I can think of just at the top of my head that would make all the difference. For example, verified accounts would stop people making bots and spamming chat with doxing information, inciting more stalking and more harassment online from other people.
And I'm sitting here like, so let me get this one straight. You want us to help you with your stalker by creating a Twitter hashtag saying we should stop stalking. Ma'am, that is the most insanely idiotic thing I have ever heard. Well, okay, it's among them. It's up there. It makes the top 10 list. And again, you're sweet, but you're so naive. Sometimes it's just kind of painful to me. Why in heaven's name would creating a hashtag do next to anything to curtail these crazy sons of guns who are stalking you and are sending you these nasty threats and are trying to hurt you in some regard? You really think that, like, shaking your finger at them, like, what do you expect? Like, I don't understand. I don't get, like, why you think even attempting to bring attention to the situation on the internet is gonna, like, bring about some kind of change to, like, you obviously aren't trying to change the stalker's heart and point of view and get them to be a virtuous individual. You seem to be, you want the police or you want some authority figure to change. But my question is, you went to the police and you went to the authorities numerous times. They couldn't do anything. If they can't do anything and they have all the power and moral law to do something about it, you think like random internet vigilantes with the hashtag on Twitter can even make a dent in all of the stalking that goes on? It just seems really strange to me. But what bothers me more than anything else, and this is why I felt the need to make this video, which is quite an introduction now that I think about it, is when she says this.
One of the things that I find really challenging about all of this, and speaking up about it too, is that so many people want to blame me. They say, if you learn martial arts, if you move house, if you get a dog, if you get a gun, then everything will be okay and you will be safer. But I don't think it's the answer. In countries where so many more people have a gun, there are still stalkers, and there are even people who get shot by their stalkers. In countries where people get dogs, in countries where people move house, all of these things are not necessarily measures that eradicate stalking or stop it or prevent it.
Now, I've said this many times, but it bears repeating because I'm not a popular YouTuber. But no one is saying, as a woman, that it's your fault if bad things happen to you. Okay, fine, maybe some people are. But really what people are trying to communicate is that it is your responsibility to protect yourself, because no one else can realistically do that for you. That's not really entirely true on a technicality, but like, if you have not resolved yourself to like having a husband and like having him protect you, then yeah, that's it, dude. Like, that's kind of on you. Yeah, you gotta learn martial arts. You gotta get a dog. You gotta install a security system and some security cameras. I don't know what to tell you, fam. I know. Hold on. I got a couple of things I can tell you. Get a husband, okay? Listen, women have OnlyFans right now to get a bunch of money. They are selling their time and showing their buttholes right now for some shekels. So the way I see it is this: like, if you're a woman and you're fine with sex work and you're fine with taking money from men, I don't see how you could find any problem with like having a relationship with a man and then having him like protect you and keep you safe. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If I was a woman and I was being stalked, you know what I would do? I would just go find some other guy to protect me from the stalker. That's just what I would do. Okay, like, if I just totally resolve myself to like not pick up a firearm, she's in the UK, so she can't have a firearm. But if I just totally resolve myself to not take any martial arts classes, if I just totally resolve myself to not get a dog or an attack dog, I'd get myself a German Shepherd if I was a woman, like, straight up. Like, if I was a woman, I would be doing so much to make sure that I was safe. But whatever. If I just didn't want to do any of that stuff, I would just get a husband and I would just have him protect me. I don't know. You know, I know what some people are thinking. I know what some of you guys are probably thinking, but just, if you can't just like forge a whole relationship with a man to just like have him protect you and keep you safe. Like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm just like, nigga, to this day, people are more upset with Sims for paying for OnlyFans than they are at the women's for using their bodies to attract attention and get the money. Like, if you think it's okay to be a sex worker, then it should be fine to forge a relationship with the guy so it keeps you alive. That's what I would do. I'm just saying, that's what I would do. And another thing, if you're like, you can't just like have a whole man be around you and just like have him keep you safe. You're putting him in danger. Well, asking the police to come deal with your stalker, who might be a deranged individual who will kill you, is putting them in danger. So either way it goes, someone's got to be put in danger. That's what you're doing. Now, of course, I'm being somewhat facetious. Somewhat. I am like, I mean, like, on a technicality, hopefully your husband would keep you safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would hope. But more than that, really what kind of bothers me is the deferment of responsibility of protecting yourself. Like, the long and short of it is, like, you're an adult. And while stalking is a serious issue, it should be taken seriously. You probably should either move and go somewhere else and then buy a weapon and prepare for Mortal Kombat, rather than make a video and post it on YouTube hoping people will tweet on a hashtag. Like that, to me, that just seems like that's the more appropriate thing to do. If someone is getting ready to show up to engage you in Mortal Kombat, then you gotta fight them. That's just how that is. Now, Anita tells us that moving probably isn't the solution because of this story right here.
Is proof that moving house doesn't save you. And I can safely say it takes months to move house and it takes seconds to dock someone. Destiny himself said that he moved and before he'd even got into his new place, he had already been doxed again. And so, unfortunately, moving doesn't solve the problem. But in Cheryl Hooper's case, she was found again after moving home to escape her stalker, and he found her and managed to murder her. It's proven time and time again that the fact that women have access to these things has not prevented many women from being stalked.
And I'm just sitting here like, while it's rather unfortunate, that's just kind of the way, I mean, she lost Mortal Kombat. The nigga pulled off a fatality. I don't know what you want me to say. Okay, now granted, maybe I shouldn't be making jokes about the fact that this woman was killed, but my facetiousness aside, he challenged her to Mortal Kombat and she lost. That's what happened, okay? I'm sorry, I'm putting it in a jovial manner, but he came to kill her and she did not protect herself and she died. That's what happened. And the only person that could have done anything to prevent that was her. If she went to the police and the police didn't do anything about this guy following her to her new location, she is the only person who knows he's coming. She's got to fight for her life. I don't know what else to tell you. And I know what some women are thinking. You're all like, but I'm a small woman. I shouldn't have to fight this guy who's like, look, nigga, you want to know something? Tough. I'm sorry. The world's I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I didn't make the world this way. I'm just a player in the game. You have to protect yourself. No one can do that for you. Okay, fine. Your husband can do that for you. But unless you're willing to go like have a whole relationship with the dude in the hopes that he'll keep you alive, you gotta protect yourself. You gotta learn some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You gotta pick up a knife, learn how to use a sword. Listen, go contact Kenshin Himura and see if he'll teach you how to use the Hitan Mitsurugi style. I don't know what you want, fam. Go call Genkai. Maybe she can unlock your psychic powers, teach you how to use the spirit wave. I don't know what you want. That's not true. I know exactly what you want. You want other people to do your problem for you because you're a passive, well, in Nina's case, white woman. And white women are just so annoyingly passive, and this being one of those examples of their passivity. They think that they can defer the very act of keeping themselves safe onto some other entity. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. It's your life. Listen, no one in the world, honestly, should have more of an invested interest in keeping you safe than you, nigga. Like, and this doesn't just goes for, like, here's the thing. With dudes, like, this isn't like a lesson that needs to be imparted on us, because we just, like, we understand that, like, we can engage each other in combat. Now, it's like mock combat. It's not like really like fights to the death. Not. I mean, you can die, but it's not usually like duels. Like back in the day, you know what I mean? You know, you walk 3 paces and quick draw, and you know, or you literally like sword fight, and you know, you duel them, right? You used to be able to do that. As males, you know, we understand that between each other, growing up, that we can like fight and engage, and you know, especially if getting bullied, especially if you're getting knocked around, you just have to adapt, and that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Use myself as an example. I learned martial arts. I adapted. I changed my mindset. I got ready to fight. I almost fought people on several different occasions growing up. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But here's the thing. You learn martial arts in hopes that you don't have to, okay? That's what I always say. I always say this all the time. That you learn martial arts in hopes that you don't have to use them. Because the truth of the matter is, when shit hits the fan, you're going to want to know how to use some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Then not knowing how to use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. As a woman, I'm just saying, if you're a woman and you're deathly afraid that some guy is going to force you, since we can't use the actual word because I don't want to get demonetized, if you're afraid of being forced, it would require that the person has to physically be really close to you. So as a woman, honestly, naturally the best defense you could have is learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Seriously. Learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, start a workout regimen, build a little bit of muscle, build a little bit of wrist strength, just a little bit. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, just a little bit. Learn how your body works, okay? Buy a security system, get some security cameras, get a dog, get a sword, get a gun, okay? That's what you gotta do. I'm sorry. I am sorry that you have to protect yourself. We don't live in the old ages where men will just keep you safe because whatever, you know? Or you can just go find a man who knows Kung Fu and just marry him and have him protect you. I don't know what you want. And it bothers me greatly at the fact that, like, Anita, like, is an adult woman and she's made it this far in her life and she, like, hasn't recognized that, like, listen, dude, when it comes to your stalker, I don't really know if there's much solutions apart from you talk to him, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if talking to the person and saying, hey, dude, what's your problem? We'll fix it. It has for me. I don't know. I don't think someone that deranged will work on. Maybe you can talk to the person and just politely ask them to stop. I doubt that would be sufficient, but you could. That's solution 1. Solution 2, you went to the police. They didn't really do anything. Okay. Solution 3, you put the fear of God into this person's soul. That means when they come to your house and they peek inside your little window hole, you take out your sword and say, Hitan Mitsurugi Bato Jutsu. And you just quick draw, you know what I'm saying? You just take your sword and you just go, you know what, Saber, help me out here. Okay, maybe that's a little too much of a dramatization, but hopefully you get my point. My point is, you take out your gun and you pop him one in the kneecap and you say, don't come back here, or I'm gonna aim a little higher. Where? I don't know. It's up to how I feel that day when you come by. It might be your shoulder, it might be, you know what I'm saying, it might be your mid-torso, it might be your head. But you came here, you weren't invited, I asked you to stop, you didn't stop, I popped you a good one. That's what you gotta do. I don't know what else to tell you, fam. If you're really that afraid that this person's gonna hurt you, then you need to prepare to defend yourself. It's just that simple. And listen, you might lose. You might train, and he might come face you in hand-to-hand combat, and you might lose, and that's just what's gonna happen. And a lot of people have grown really comfortable in our modern society, and they don't recognize the fact that, yeah, you have to protect yourself from death sometimes. It happens. You just have to. So, honestly, SweetAnita, you're so sweet, but your naivete irks me quite greatly. And I don't think that this is a mindset that anyone else should adopt, and I primarily find this in passive white women. But in conclusion, my friend, people on the internet cannot help with your stalker. Okay, maybe 4chan can, but I doubt that they're on your side. But people on the internet can't help with your stalker. The only person that can really do anything about that, if you are so terrified, is you. You have to protect yourself because no one else realistically can. Well, maybe your husband can, but you don't have a husband, so maybe you could go get a husband, and hopefully he has some gun safety training, except you're in the UK, so he's going to have to go purchase a sword. Maybe it might be a reverse blade katana, you know what I'm saying? Maybe an aluminum bat. I don't know. Long and short of it is, that's how you're going to get rid of your stalker. You put the fear of God in this person, and you make them understand that they may come to your house, but they ain't leaving. You put that fear into that person, and I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna come to your house no more. And if they come to your house to kill you, once again, you make sure they ain't leaving. Sorry. Learn how to fight, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to defend yourself. I really am, but that's all I got for you. With that being said, I just hope you guys got something out of today's video, and if you did, man, you know, go and click the like button. And sure, go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, you guys have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.